Welcome to this video. Now, we can't carry 3 head torches around, so I made this video to help you to decide which of these fabulous FENIX head torches or head lamps, if you're over the pond, you should consider buying. And I know everybody's got slightly different tastes, so in this video I'm going to give you a full featured lineup between the 62, the 65 and the 75. I'm going to first explain some of the similarities here with Honey Dog on my favorite log, and I'm going to give you beam shots. Then I'm going to do an unboxing of the 75 and bring you back to a summary, really focusing on my likes and dislikes with the 75. Now, if you want to know more about the 62, I've done a recent video on this, and the 65 I did a full review and comparison about 2 years ago, and that was my best of test at the time. I'll put a link to that below and a card right now to the 62. So enjoy the video, and if you like the detail of this, please give us a like, and then there's links below to where you can buy any of these headlamps. Right, let's start off with some of the similarities between these head torches. They all have a lightweight magnesium alloy body, and they're all really robust with IP68 waterproofing. That means it'll handle pretty much anything you care to throw at them in the outdoors, and they're all 2-meter drop resistant. So really tough. Now, straight away you'll see that the 62 is a little smaller. That weighs 126 grams and costs from FENIX Light this. The 65 weighs 144 grams and costs this, and the 75 weighs 176 grams plus 137 grams for the optional power bank that I'll come to in a bit. Now, all of these prices are variable, and you can get them at discount from other outliers, but that is the price quoted at FENIX Light in the UK, and that's a great source to start looking. Now, let's talk about some of the differences. Now, the 62 has a single emitter. The 65 has twin emitters with a spot and a flood function, and the 75 has triple emitters with a spot, flood and red. Now, the 62 is a fairly simple operation with just a push button at the side to cycle through the different cycles. The 65 has independent switches, and you can put them on kind of independently or both at the same time. And in the beam shots, don't forget, I'm going to go through all of these settings so you can compare properly. And then finally, the 75 has this really excellent rotation switch at the side. So that goes from spot to flood to red, and to cycle through the different power settings, you just press the button at the end. Now, you can't have any of these on simultaneously like you can with the 65, but they're both really bright in their own part. And in the beam comparison, I'll give you some comparative run times as well. So you can consider the 62 to be the lightweight. In fact, they bill it as their trail running option. The 65, in my opinion, is a fantastic all-rounder, and the 75 is as built really intended for the professional user. And all of these I've been using for quite some time. This I've been using for 3 or 4 months, this one several years, and I've been using this one intensively on recent wild camps and down here with the dogs in the woods, where you'll find me most nights during the week. So they've had lots of testing and really intensive use, and it's given me a good impression of best application for these. First, let's get on with the beam shots. As I said, I'll bring you back from the unboxing, and then we'll finish with the features and things I'm not so sure about. Right, I've got a little runtime experiment set up here. This is the HM62, the 65 and the 75 on their side. Now this one I'm going to put on 400 lumens, should go for 12 hours. This on 400 lumens spot, and the 75 350 lumens for 11 hours. But that's not with the battery boost, of course, which would make it go considerably longer. Right, that's them running. There should be some distinct separation there. 75 here, 65 in the middle, and 62 at the end there. Well, good morning. So these have been running for 12 hours now, and we've still got a good output. I've just had a quick look at the video, and it seems like the 65T has been going strongest. The 75 and the 65 are both on one bar. I think in terms of light intensity still, the 65 still seems to have it. Good and bright from the 75, but not as bright. 400 lumens, which you could easily walk and navigate by. An impressive performance from all three. Okay, for the beam shots, you can see that post there with the red reflector. Now, just up ahead, there's a bridge with a white reflective sign on. The bridge is going to be hard to make out amongst these trees, but I'm going to go 100 meters down that way, and this will be a challenge for any of these head torches. HM62 low, HM65 below it, low. HM65 spotlight. HM75 spot low. HM75 red, low, very high. Right, just for fun, this is all three together. I don't know what you could see through the camera there, but I think, to my eye, the 75 had it there. 75, 65. Yeah, definitely got more penetration into the distance there. More focused spot. Good. Now this is an actual big deal for me, succeeding in doing an unboxing, because normally I can't resist and start using the head torch and try to re-box it later. And the man who can get one of these back in perfectly without damaging the box is a better man than me. So on the back here is a handy guide to the lumens and the different settings, and you'll see the headband here, the head torch itself, and the power bank and extender. Here's everything that's inside. There's a layer underneath here. This will be the connection for the power extender. There's two of these. This is the long one to enable you to put it in a pocket where it can keep warm. This is the shorter one to attach it to your headband. A couple of spare O-rings, a warranty card, a little promotional leaflet thing, a pretty thick manual, and here's the head torch itself. Feels not too heavy at all. And here is the range extender with its little button on there and a detachable clip. Firstly, what are the first class features with the FENIX HM75? Well, firstly, it's this knob at the side. You know, like many head torches, you're fiddling around with the settings on the top. This is just secure, easy and instinctive every time. You just kind of hit and go straight onto the setting that you like. Even with thick gloves on, mittens, the operation is super simple. And when you've got onto your chosen setting, for instance spot, you can just cycle through it, and then when you switch it off and back on again, it'll go back to your last setting. Absolutely superb. The run times are pretty good. I don't think it's quite as efficient as the 65, but more about that later. The 75 is available in two versions, both with and without the power extender. This is a really great bit of kit that clips onto the back of the head torch in a very instinctive method, and there's two cables available with it, a short one that goes directly from here to here and a long one, so in cold temperatures, or if you wanted to clip that on your belt, you can keep this out of the way. It'll work independently as long as the battery's in place here, or it'll give you mega run times with the extender on. And I found at the lower settings it gives you about 40% more, and at the higher power settings it becomes much more efficient. There's a really big battery in here, and just let me show you how you access there. Incidentally, charging is through this beefy port here. If you press quickly, it'll give you the power setting there, but to access the battery you just screw this off here, and there's the 3400 milliamp L18 3400, otherwise known as an 18650, inside here. And these are all the same IP68 waterproof. There's a really big 5000 milliamp 217700 battery. You can use this power bank to charge your mobile phone if you wish. So if you just wanted to, if you wanted to just bring this just to give you a little bit of backup for your head torch and to charge your mobile phone, you can definitely do that, or you can have it running all the time simultaneously, and that's nice and balanced and comfortable. So let's talk about some of the things I don't like so much. Now, let's not make the 75 lonely. So with the 62, I really like the adjustment on here, and I like its kind of waterproof sealed nature and its simplicity. You can't have it always, and this doesn't have any spot or flood, it's just one beam. And if you wanted to field recharge, you need to use a battery that's USB-C rechargeable. Now, head torches are like tents. There's always going to be a compromise, but for a lightweight option, the 62 is simple, tough and really powerful. 1200 lumens, that reaches a long way for a small head torch. Fantastic. Now with the 65, there's very little not to like, and I think the only thing that it's missing really is a red light. The beam pattern and the spot and float are absolutely excellent. USB-C rechargeable in the top. The lockout function has two different types. There's a little shield there, or you can do a digital lockout by pressing and holding that there, and it'll just flash a little bit to indicate that. And incidentally, the 62 also has a lockout by press and hold, I think it is. Yeah, there we go. Now, with the 75, loads of fabulous features, really, really robust, powerful. The beams are all beautifully balanced, gorgeous colours. Now, the red light is a major hit with this one. It's super bright. We're also comparing the HM65 Shadow Master. This is the one with a really bright red light, but I've been really impressed with the red light on the HM75. All the rest of all these kind of like 10, 15 lumens, you can never see anything, but I mean, look at the red light there. But to be honest, a lot of the time I find these kind of 10 or 15 lumen red lights pretty damn useless. This actually will light up a large area, and it's the only one I've ever found really, really good. The other things I really like about it is this charging cable actually locks in place via a twist collar. Push that in, twist that, and that's it, locked in place and sealed with rubber then. And of course it does the same thing to the head torch at the other end, and you've got a really, really robust connection there. Totally designed for professional use without in the field you're having to do any kind of like fiddly battery changing, which would be awful in wet conditions. You can just do that there and then. So what don't I like about the 75? Now, I have to say that for my pointy shaped forehead, I didn't find the shape of the headlamp mount there all that comfortable, despite it having a nice rubberized strap. So I found the edge of the metal there a little bit intrusive. Maybe it's just me being sensitive, so I've actually glued a 3mm bit of EVA in there, and that's kind of like sorted that out. And then the other thing that's inescapable with this type of headlamp that's got any kind of rear bracket or battery is that when you're lying down in your bed at night at camp, you can find this a little bit obtrusive at the back, and that's just a small thing. And the final thing I don't like about it massively is, because I've been spoilt by the superb BOA adjustment system on the 62 and the 65, I think that's just a winner. This is kind of like not bad, but not as intuitive or easy on your head as the BOA system. But I think this is designed for professional use and simplicity. So the final thing I haven't really enjoyed or gives me some doubt about the 75 is the lack of a lock button on the switch there. Now, I've had quite good confidence putting it in my bag that this is not going to get knocked on, but when I did place it in, just chucked it in, that did actually happen once. I saw that come on, but there's a safeguard on that. There's a sensor over the front here, so if it detects anything that's close to it, it'll turn down. So that's on full power. Put something close, you'll see it dim down. Okay, good. Now, because of that lack of lock feature, what I've been doing is placing it in this small lightweight bag. Now, other manufacturers tend to do this, and I would love to see FENIX supplying this premium head torch with a box that's lightweight like that, and then you keep all the accessories, not that leaf, the supplementary wires all nice and compact together there. Brilliant package altogether though. If you really want something for winter use, this has got to be the boy. Now, in summary, which one would I buy? If I was only going to buy one of these three, and I did purchase the 65 myself, it would be the 65 for its mid-weight offering and absolutely great power. Now, there is a newer version of the 65 called the 65 version 2. The original 65 is still available, but there's just subtle difference between it. I think there's a slight increased boost in efficiency. If you wanted something as a kind of like summer lightweight 3-season offering, I would go for the 62. But if you want that all out, go all night, super robust and the most powerful, go for the 75. So all three are absolutely brilliant. This was kindly sent to me by FENIX. This was sent to me by FENIX, and I purchased this one myself. But my review here is unbiased and is based on considerable use of all three of these fabulous head torches. So I hope you enjoy this. Let me know in the comments which you would buy. Perhaps you already have, and don't forget there's links below, and I'd really appreciate if you could chuck us a like because of all the time it takes to do this. Yeah, thanks very much.